audio. Let's see who else pops. Neighbors will join. I will be right back. I gotta go grab something.
I was kind of hoping it would have snowed a whole lot and would have had school today.
Yeah, me too.
That didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yes. All right, admit all. We'll wait for them to pop up. And yeah. Bing bong. Okay. So there were a few things I need to talk about in. There we go. Okay. So last time we were here, we were talking about what? Downloads. We would have been in. Who were we in for? Oh, that's not the one I wanted to. Rational choice theory. We'll get there. That'll be fun. This one. Victims of victimization. I started showing you some of that stuff. Then we started talking about this. Let's see here. First off, I've been having some Zoom issues. I want to check with you all. First off, do you see me on camera? I don't see anybody's sound going. So hopefully someone can type in that they can see me and that they can hear me. Because I just want to double check. Okay, good. Excellent. Thank you. So I've got this class, and then I have a Wednesday night class that uses Zoom. And Wednesday night, we had some issues where video was dropping out for people who were receiving them. And so, right, excellent. Video is working. Great. Now, I wanted to do this right before class, but I got co-opted. And I needed to see if there was something in here. I remember I wanted to talk to you about before we moved into rational choice. But we might just jump into it. Sometimes there isn't anything to do but to just get into it. First off, though, tell me what's going on in the world.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody. No, everybody. He did. I didn't know he was sick. I don't follow the music scene too closely anymore. That was really sad. Yeah. Toby Keith, he
Oh, yeah.
passed away. I had no idea.
I didn't get
That's crazy.
six that got on the fifth.
Yeah. Okay, so we got that. What else is going on?
A lot of stuff, but it's kind of political stuff.
There's a lot of
I don't
political
have
stuff.
any minority in this class.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's not so much as just open discourse. I always like the stuff that I've seen politically recently. I've kind of had my head underwater, so I've not really been paying attention to that as much as I probably should have been.
Let's put it this way, there's a lot of people in Washington DC who have an agenda, and that's not on them, so.
Yeah, that's well, all of them.
It's not for the American people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got that going. Ooh, okay, so let's see here. I need to show you a little bit about numbers, rates, and things like that, because there were some about numbers. And yeah, so that's when we're in victimology, you're talking about that. There's a number of basically what to think of it like this is that you have your different ways of looking at theories, whether it's you're dealing with crime generation, maybe it's how the system creates crime, or whether you're dealing with the perspective ones where you're dealing with, okay, we're not really looking at this from the criminality side, but like the crime itself as its own incidences, those types of perspective shifts. Victimology is this one where you're having that heavy emphasis on what crime actually does, whether it's fear, its other indirect effects, rather than just victimization itself. It's the whole every aspect of it. It's a little bit more encompassing. In terms of numbers, I kind of give you some ideas for numbers. One of the things I like to do is I like to show you guys a little bit in terms of the what those numbers actually look like, kind of thing. And so I'll show you that real quick because I had it was crime prevention, and I had been playing with those numbers a little bit. And so you start looking at some of this stuff. Let's see if I've got it in here. But I do, but that's actually in my email. We'll wait for that to pop up, and then I'll share my screen so you guys can. I'll show you. Yeah, they're UCR numbers. So this would be my this would be from me. This would have been to me, has an attachment, has the words OSBI. There we go. All right, that's a list. I need more data collection on that. Okay. We'll do this right here. I'll screen this. So the book will give you numbers from UCR and IBERS and CVS, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff all of them are things to a large degree you can access right now. Understanding how it works, the issues with it, and how to actually, it's sort of like, what a car is, how to drive a car. This one's a standard, right? You'll figure it out if you want to. You don't necessarily have to if you don't want to do that aspect of it, but I will show you some of that stuff because it fits right in with theory, because theory is how we analyze these numbers. So in terms of like the UCR stuff, the whether you're talking NIBRs, let me show you all. They're online, this too. This here is the screen. Okay. So Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, you're familiar with them. If you're not, you should be. So for this state, they're the ones who compile the information sent on the feds. Not all states do that. Some states, they send it in directly. That's kind of a methods thing. We won't talk about that. They mentioned it in chapter 2, so we'll talk about it in terms of numbers. These numbers are all things that you can go and look up right now today. You want to know what these are 2020 numbers, so they've got published out right here. But let's say that we're in the let's see, where would we be? Would be in the north? I would northeast. Nope, that's where we'd be. So here is Tulsa right there, if you want to look at that one. I think you can see just how many crimes. I was looking for it there. I didn't see it there, and I was looking in the north, and I didn't see it there either. I've got to figure out where they put it, because I don't know. It's got to be in here somewhere. Yeah, so it's in east, right? And so that's one thing. Theories, right? As we're dealing with theories, I've mentioned, it's like you're dealing with a lot of similar measures and we compile them differently to get that theory kind of thing. Here's another way you'll see that same kind of thing. It works the same way. Southeast, north, northwest, southwest, all these things. The way that they name those doesn't have to be based on direction, right? You know, how they have those divided up. Are we in the north or are we in the east or are we in the northeast? Looks right here, we're in the east. I'd say we're in the northeast though, right? You do the same kind of thing with theories. But it is one of the things that you can have some play there. If you were to go through all of these counties and compile them together, you would end up with something that looks like this. Bing. Right? Numbers for every county for those different classifications. If I were then to take those numbers and then do something like this, see if it's on here. Now, last time I brought this up in here, it did not show me SPSS. Last time I did it, though, not in here, it did. So let's see if it updated. And if it did, great. If not, I'll show you otherwise. We'll see if it works. It's looking better. Perhaps. No, for some reason, it's got me bound to this one. All right, I'll have to show you the actual curves for those things next class, because that's a simple, it's like 3 clicks of a button. Basically, what you'll see here, if you look at these numbers, you can get it a little bit here. So it says crimes reported, index crimes, all that stuff. I don't really care about that. I'm going to do this right here. Okay, now you can actually see it. Okay, so we're going to go from here down. Care about that. We're going to do custom sort, because this will kind of get you the same kind of thing. Okay, we're going to say murder, largest to smallest. Boom. 90, 70, 16, all the rest are single digit. I'll make that bigger. Right here. Now we'll do the next one. Custom sort. Rape. Okay. 600. By the time you're halfway in that list, you're double digits still, but really you're in teens, right? Versus 600. Year per year. Yeah, this is 1 year. Robberies, 900. Here's what it says here. Oops, I didn't mean to unhighlight all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's not exactly going to be population all the time, but it's a big part of it. Okay. We'll say larceny because it's low level. So there'll be a lot of them. Okay. 20,000. 1,000. Hundreds. Now you're back down to single digits. Right? That's that nature of crime that they're talking with you about. They're talking about that in terms of both crime and victimization, the heavy overlaps, all of that. Okay. Is there anything else I need to talk about here before I go into rational choice? I don't think so. We'll start there. Stop sharing. I don't need, well, I guess I could continue sharing. Let's do that. We'll continue sharing since it's a PowerPoint. That's this the right one. Nope, that's the wrong one. Routine activities theories we've already talked about. Did we talk about lifestyle theories? A little bit. Okay, good. Deviant place, routine activities. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So these theories tend to go together. You'll find that routine activities theories, lifestyle theories, and rational choice theories all go together. They're all going to kind of key into that classical theory history that emphasizes free will, that kind of stuff. From the outset, you should note that. Right here, not that one. No, don't save. There we go. So rational choice. Here it's going to tell you about its relationship to Beckerian. I'll talk about time real quick, and then I'll talk about history. Okay. Time. I'll mention time because if you were to go and read Cornish and Clark, rational choice, that kind of stuff, you'll find that they won't just talk about classical criminology in their theory. They'll put it in, they'll frame it in the place of the time. So you also have to think about, you know, this as a field, some theories are existing and in prominence. And so as new theories develop, what will happen is they'll start up about the same time frame. So you might have references between the two, but you really want to focus on that straight line where it's, okay, this is rational choice, here's its application. With that, that's Becker too. So need to talk to you a little bit about Becker, a little bit about Wilson, and a little about this. Okay. So Becker is gangs, deviant subcultures. There'll be another section in here where they talk about deviants. They've already talked about it some, but that's his whole vein of theory. Becker is the one who started it. Well, not started, but the one that we attribute as starting it within our field. When you're dealing with that in that time frame, here it talks about those decisions, right? That free will. Even in that subculture, you're still making those decisions and how you would go about whether it's I'm going to move up in the subculture or align with regular culture, or if it's the stature within this group that I'm trying to move up in, or if whatever theory, there are multiple going on at once. With this one, you're focusing on, okay, every time that they're making these choices, there's some math that's going on in the background. Some, right? Whether it's the okay. Probably mentions it in here. We'll call it in terms of certainty, celerity, and severity. Those are big facets that affect rational choice. You know, the likelihood you're going to get punished. Ooh, let's do it that way. That'll be a little bit more fun. Use the whiteboard for a minute. Spin, move. Right. And we can stop sharing. Yeah. Close your eyes for a second. I should probably turn off the camera whenever I do that because it is, I'm sure, jarring. Okay, so we'll bring this over here. Boop. And then this. It's all right.
There's a reason why those are up there, you know.
I think I'm the only one that throws them in the floor and leaves them there. Of course, I'm sure no one appreciates that.
That's like the booby trap.
Yeah, it's like that's just a whole thing. Okay. So if you were to think about anything that you do, you can classify it in a few different ways. Right? Probably easiest is good, bad, neutral, right? Okay. Here, since we're dealing with crime, we're almost always dealing with that negative stuff. So if you're going to make that decision to do something negative, what is it you do? What processes, what things do you consider? How do you go about making that decision? Right? And so if we're going to go that negative route, well, if we're doing something that's harmful, what kinds of things make you not want to engage in bad behaviors you have a drive to do? I don't know if you guys have any of those.
Punishment.
Okay, punishment.
Yeah, like, well, if you're talking about like criminals, why they think how they think, right?
A little bit.
Before they do a crime, like say,
Yeah.
your thought, the pros and the cons
Mhm.
of doing a crime.
Yeah, so we'll start here for a second and let's see notes of this guy right here. In there. You have punishment.
Are you talking about what's harmful to other people or to you, to the criminal?
Well, it's both, but
Yeah,
people still do it.
well, it's to
anyway.
the criminal, it's punishment.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
We're gonna do something that's harmful. we stop people from doing those things by an act of punishment. Cool. You guys ever heard of Skinner and psychology? Okay. Okay, so, he'll come up in here some too, it's a good way to remember it. I don't know how the book presents it, I'm just sit down, and see if they mention it in this section or later, because you'll probably come up. To some degree, he's learning, he's psychology learning, he's not criminal justice learning, the learning theories here are gonna be more about socialization processes, we'll get that. When we get there. This guy, what he's doing is like, this is the process for learning. You have, you have rewards and you have punishments, right? And those come in both positive and negative for both. I mean, I can have positive reward or negative reward. I can have positive punishment or negative punishment. What he means by that is probably more like this. Give and take. Right? So I can give you something you want and it's a reward. I can give you something you don't and it's a punishment. You guys can't quite see that very well. It's out a little better, maybe. I don't know. I think that made it worse. I don't know. So punishment, you give someone prison. Right? No, it's more denial of freedom. Right? What they'll get while they're there, that's the punishment. Rewards. Ah. Got my screen. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good reward. Reward. I'm gonna take this bit of work off of your plate. It's nice reward, right? Or this maybe it's a task, maybe it's a condition, right? Positive and negative, positive and negative. This one's good, this one's bad. Use this one. If you're in psychology, what they'll tell you about that one is punishments don't really work. They can, but only in the presence of someone's going to give you those punishments. And the best part about it is take away that punishment, it kind of is its own reward. I got away with it. And it's like, oh, great. That's not a good way to do it. We're dealing with punishments. Okay. So, when you were younger, I'm sure that there were times you got into things you shouldn't have done. Think about my kids when they think about that. It's like all the stuff that they should not be doing. Yes. I was just talking to someone about one of their kids taking a flying leap at another kid and hitting them with something. It's like, yeah, there's all kinds of criminality there. Kids. Think about yourself back in their shoes. What kinds of things would make you quickly desist in behaviors? I'm gonna do something bad. Could be something dangerous. Could be just something we want to control. All kinds of ways to control behavior. We're choosing punishment.
What comes to mind is incarceration.
Okay.
With jail, that's what I'm
Okay.
thinking. I don't want to go to jail, so I don't want to do this crime.
Incarceration, jail. Why would you not want to do those things?
Because it takes away your freedom.
Okay, so you got that freedom element.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. That's the severity, right? It's like this thing, if I do this, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. What is it? I get a little bit hungry. Go down, I visit the local pet store and I pick up all the little baby puppies and I make a good meal out of it. There are gonna be some people that have some problems with that. They're gonna punish me very, very severely, right? Animal cruelty, how, that kind of thing. What kind of punishments associated? That one's a pretty severe one.
Is it?
That one kind of is, yeah.
Well,
Cruelty to animals.
Yeah, 'cause I always thought they
Yeah.
were very lenient on that stuff. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like murder.
Yeah, well, what it is,
It's like-
you get, well, it's kind of a dual thing, anytime you start dealing with that is, if I have too serious of a punishment associated with it, I'll have more hesitancy for doing it. And then so that's where you kind of get there. What's the most functions associated with animal is severe, very, very high, right? Felonies kinds of things. It's like, well, at the same time, if I go and smack around my kid, you know, that's just a misdemeanor. Severity is one of those things that will have an impact. There's 3 of them that have a big impact. This is one. Severity. How serious is it going to be? What other things would be on your mind? If you're thinking about, okay, this is kind of stuff I did as a kid, low level kind of trouble, right? I'm not gonna not clean my room, I'm gonna go destroy something. Okay? I set a small fire in my kitchen or whatever. It's like, what kinds of things are you gonna get as a response, and what kinds of things you're thinking about? Okay, we'll play with that scenario, see if I can pull it out. Okay, I'm setting my kitchen on fire. How would I? I mean, in this scenario, how old am I? I've set my kitchen on fire. How old am I?
8.
8. Okay. Now let's double that. Okay. There's gonna be some severity differences here, right? You stop and think about it. Maybe less here, probably more here at the 8-year-old. Right? Certainty. Am I gonna get in trouble for this? Ooh, I don't know. But for that 16-year-old, kind of have an understanding. Yeah, they're gonna. 8-year-old might not. Right? If that was an accident, there's no need for a punishment. Or, because there's no oversight. Right? 16-year-old without oversight, 8-year-old oversight, 20-year-old, 40-year-old without oversight. It's like amount of oversight that you have. Some degree is this, yes. But there's that mental math involved for how likely am I really going to get caught, right? Murder. When y'all ever thought about killing somebody? Don't show me. People in here. I look online and it's like, I guess you have to raise your hands in there, and I don't know if it recorded, but don't. Like, yeah, it's everybody. Why didn't? I don't mean that like rhetorically, I mean quite literally, why didn't? Yeah, yeah,
Like singing and dying.
yeah. Okay, so it was the emotional impact of seeing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's no severity there, right? That's gonna affect you.
But when you think about it, and you think it's not the right thing, you know, it's not legal.
That's not legal. Yeah, you got morals.
It's like you kind of, you know, you do one of these things, you know, how can I get away with it? Probably
Yeah,
not.
you got some of the different stuff going on there. And that's where can I get away with it? Probably no. Ooh. We'll put it back for a second. What is the likelihood that you will be caught and convicted? It is. It is 50-50. It's like 50-50, and that's the best one we have.
Right, it's pretty stupid, because I wouldn't get away.
Well, it's not that, part of it is the numbers.
Not a good
Try.
time, but it was.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's something that, like half, we don't half for those that we actually charge kind of thing. That we follow, that we even know of.
There's so many people out there that has murdered someone, like gone away with it, or like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they put somebody else in prison and saying that person went in there, but in reality it was somebody else.
Oh, yeah, or my favorite one is, the really, really dark one of, has to do with like, human trafficking. Like, how many people are actually watching the streets, see people that start disappearing? It's like they're not looking for that, looking just to see if anybody's there. They don't see who disappears, they don't care. Right, so that's gonna be a lot. So I think I want to say there was a truck driver in the last couple of years that got found out that he was dropping off body parts across the US. It's like that stuff happens. And you may think it may be low numbers, but it's like, how low are those numbers? It's not one, we know that. And how big? Ooh, we don't know.
He was making deliveries from.
Yeah. So that certainty is gonna be a big aspect of it. How certain is it? How likely is it I'm gonna get caught? And our criminal justice system does not do well with that. See recidivism, it's like 80%. Right? Depending on your time frame, I should say. Long enough time frame. It's really high. Certainty, and the other one is, I'm gonna have trouble remembering how to spell it. Celerity. I'm gonna have trouble spelling. No, it's like CEL or something like that. It's really weird.
What is
Yeah.
That's your mental state.
The next one is celerity. I want to say it's, yeah, so basically what it is it's time. Let me see if I can find the spelling, because it's one that I forget how to spell it a lot. Let's see if he goes into it over. We'll come back to that stuff in a second. Yeah, no, he went way too specific. So he's not telling you that. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like this. Almost. It always looks weird to me. They're talking about time, and it's got to do with the amount of time that passes between your action and the punishment. Yeah. Yeah, that's time, right? Okay. I'm gonna go burglarize a house, right? How many can I do and how quick is it before they figure out it's me? Right? It's a big thing. It also works in the other way too. If you're gonna be teaching, like, yeah, but it's kids and animals. Animals are really good at this because they don't think like what we do. They tear up your pillow, whatever it is. You get home from work or school or whatever, it's been 8 hours. You go over there and you smack the dog for tearing up the pillow. They're not gonna have any clue what the hell you're smacking it for, right? Catch them in the middle of it though, they'll know exactly what they're doing that for. We're the same way, we're animals too. And like that facet, it's there.
Does anything to do with emotions too, like if you're really upset about something, it's like you almost like to do it, you know, you do, I guess.
It can.
If you get really mad at something, you murder them,
Mhm.
then a few hours later, you go, well, why did I do that?
Yeah,
Kind of crazy.
yeah, I did something stupid, yes.
Yeah, it's a time thing.
Yes, it is. Ooh, that's a big discussion kind of thing. We don't have any good theories for that, anything on that. It is though, it is.
Anger, that's a rage thing.
Yeah, yeah, they work it in the law in terms of like heat of passion stuff, but it's something that probably where you'd find the best likelihood of finding good stuff on it is you'd be looking at some of the biological stuff where they're checking hormone levels and that kind of stuff, cortisol, and there's some other ones, but it'd be stuff like that. And, yeah, you know, your testosterone, your cortisols, you know, stress and aggression and that kind of stuff. Okay. So here's where they start talking about the actual deterrence aspects of it. So these are the principles that govern whether or not it will work. There's two types of deterrence that are covered in terms of rational choice. You have the general and the specific. So talk about general versus specific. What you need to know there. General is us. This is all of society. Specific is you or me. Yes, individual. As soon as you come into contact with the criminal justice system, guess what? Things starts changing for you. Like the likelihood that you'll receive tougher punishment starts increasing. Almost like we work that into the process, right? It's just two different levels. One's aggregate, one's a little bit more specific. I guess you could say it that way. More user specific, still aggregate. It still aggregates up. Let's see, offense specific, offender specific, and yeah, it's all about a weighing of things. And we'll talk about offense versus offender. And remember I said those definitions, well, those were going to be offender specific ones. offense-specific ones, you're talking the same kind of thing, but you'll see that reflected in, see it in law, you can see it in, now those big places, you'll see it. Structuring. Okay, here's where you'll start to see the elements of routine activities coming in. Yeah. Here's guardianship, excitement, thrills. Opportunity. It's experience. What do I want to tell you about that? Because that's, you have the guardianship element of it, that's part of it. Whenever I talk to you about the overlap in these theories, it's can be difficult because there is so much overlap in terms of these things. I would almost follow this entire slide because those things are important. What you'll use is you'll tie it into routine activities, not rational voice image. Okay, there you go. That's where you start getting it. Now the processes is the processes we go through. Okay, target selection. It's a big one. And getting target selection. What kinds of things, yeah, burglaries are a big one for this. Anything where it's something that's not heat of the passion, heat of the moment kind of thing. It's this, right? Anything that requires numbers, right? Dealing with money, like in terms of how many number of houses do I have to burglarize to get the amount of money that I need for whatever it is I'm trying to do, right? A lot of math involved. Mental math doesn't, and that process is going to be the same. So if I study, 100 burglars, 1,000 burglars, what kinds of things are you looking at whenever you look at this house? What makes you choose this house? Why'd you avoid this one? Right? And so those are good ways to find a functional theoretical explanation of how people move. And you can do it from the individual basis. We can look at the location side too, or fence based. Oh, next one actually talks about burglary. There you go. So, how many of you have ever put yourselves in the mind of a burglar? Oh, you want to for a little bit?
Yeah, but I don't have that mind. I don't think like that. I think I'm gonna get caught, so I'm not gonna even think about it.
That's a good place to start. Okay. We're gonna try to get away with it this time. So, what kinds of? We'll start with think low level. The average person is going to be burglarized, like just regular house kind of burglarized, middle of the day. What kinds of things would you be looking to steal from the average person's house? Okay.
Credit card.
Money, credit cards. What else? Jewelry.
Anything you could barely. Visions.
Okay.
You don't wanna be walking out of there probably with a, I mean, you might wanna take a big screen TV, but, somebody might see you taking it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't conceal it.
Oh, I like that. Good. So concealable
Yeah.
means valuable, desirable. We'll think about it for a minute.
Somewhere, and anything
Mhm.
about it that's
Okay.
small, I guess.
Ooh. Let's think about it this. Okay. I am going to burgle some houses. We'll put this in, we'll say, Tulsa. What area of Tulsa is considered the high crime area? North? Okay. So it's north of Tulsa. We're in the north of Tulsa. Okay. We don't have anything to do today, but it'd be nice to have some money to do some stuff. So. Potential burglary. Okay. When you're driving around the street, what kinds of things are going to be draw your attention for, hey, I might make some money.
You mean how I go?
You're driving in North Tulsa. Nothing. Do these happen there?
You're gonna go like out west or south
Okay,
instead of wrong.
so we're gonna drive out
You wanna
west.
stay away from north.
So you're looking for an affluent neighborhood,
Okay,
something that's
So-
got something to take,
affluence,
right?
or at least
Or you're not gonna
something.
get shot at. If you go and rob somebody out north, you're just gonna get shot.
Avoid danger. Okay? Okay,
And plus, well, we're talking about the waiting stuff, it's like you don't want anybody to be there, you're not
Right.
looking for cameras, you know, you're
And
not.
cops are
People,
making out. north.
camera,
oh, they are.
Because it's a
officers.
high crime area, so there's more cops out north than you would find out south there was.
Yeah, or you don't have to. Or in the camera or whatever.
Yeah.
Our security, like those, well, did they say that, I don't know, I was reading the book about this stuff. It's the only reason I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But, did they say that having fenced in communities helps keep crime away or?
It can, it depends. And that's the hell of the thing, most of the stuff is it really depends. And
Easy
boy.
access, I guess.
Mhm. So. Here. Something. We'll do the fence thing first. Okay. So, there's a few different levels that we start looking to identify targets. First are the houses, and then it's like, what's that in the house that's actually worth valuing. The first thing we're looking at are the houses themselves, right? Affluence sometimes, maybe, usually we end up finding is, as you drive outside of your neighborhood, yeah. You'll go. Not quite here, because they'll have a high police presence and people watching, they'll care because they got stuff. It won't, it'll be somewhere between where you're at and where they start having things. Right? You want to avoid dangers, that includes people, cameras, officers, other things. Really. It's danger, it's like identification too, but that also. Danger too. Okay. The fencing thing, why that would matter, okay? Fenced in community. What are my access points and how well watched are they? Okay. No access. They're not well watched, then no one's watching at all, because now you're behind the fence. And so that's the hard thing there. Because each thing's a trail. Visual crime prevention basically thing I'd say is, and think about it like outrunning the bear. It's the same thing. It's what people tell you when you're running from a bear. You might be faster than the bear. Just have to something slower than you run. I got a better target over here. Go rob that. It's stuff like this. It's stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think about, like, okay. So people and officers are dangerous, yeah, because they could fight. If identification's a danger, then these also present another danger, and that would also produce this one as a danger. If I have no identity, I don't care. I'm a homeless person? Find me, good luck, right? There's how many hundreds of million people in this country? It's like, I can disappear in a heartbeat, you won't find me, I'll be 15 minutes away. Not even that, probably 5, right? I'm just on the other side of that house over there, you just can't see me, you won't know where I'm at, because I have no record. No problem. Typically, what you'll see is they'll do it like that, they'll try to integrate as many different things as they can related to how they do it. The big one though is location.
Yeah, I've only heard about one time whenever some places ever been burglarized,
Mm-hmm.
and it was always, they knew what was in that house.
Oh, yeah.
They'd been in that house before, and it's usually somebody that you know that steals
Mhm.
your stuff. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so people
Yeah.
get commonly case places.
So that's what I've always thought of, it. Usually they know what they're going after,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, so they'll be looking in windows or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And find an
Or like
alternative.
a third cousin or some way off person that you just
Mhm.
met, been in their house, you know, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And it'll be things like this, but also the other stuff that. The other one that's really common would be like, this is your block, right? You don't want to live on any of these houses right here. Corner houses. Easy access, easy come, easy go. Be like, what kinds of things could you say or do that would make your house less likely to be a target? Like, hey, put up cameras, all those things, buy a dog. You get bed, people don't like to get bed. Okay. Is crime cruelly rational? So here's where they start talking about that. So it's sort of like motivation and offenders. We'll give you some explanation for that. The theory really doesn't speak to it itself because it's just too much for the theory to encompass. Here, is it rational? That is the biggest critique for this theory, is that people are not. Not only are they irrational, they're also bounded in terms of what they actually know, in terms of, okay. Run with any one of these things for 5 seconds and you'll see it very, very quick, like officers. Okay, one, we got detection. Am I gonna get detected? That's the thing for it to be like, okay. I can blend in. Right, I can blend in really well. Okay, good. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so it's not detection. I don't worry about C. Maybe I know that they're gonna be called. If they're gonna be called, on time. Depending on where I'm at. If I know this doesn't matter at all. Right? Some places it's 5 minutes, some places it's 50. Same thing. Interesting how that works. You'll never know that one. Fine. How many officers are on patrol? Where are they at any given moment? That response time could be an hour, could be 2 hours, could be 10 seconds because he's right over there. Right? That kind of thing. So you won't know that. Here they start talking about the actual aspect of rationality. Here I'm just identifying, it's like, here's stuff that you just don't even know. Right? You'll have maybe some information you get from it. Usually it's like, no, you just won't know. You do your best. A lot of this stuff though, it's like, yeah, the most.
That word rational, it kills me. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's either a learned behavior or not. It's either you think rational crime is a good thing or crime is a bad thing.
We do that a lot in here, where we'll use a word and it won't be how people use them.
Yeah.
And that's one of them, right? So it's not really rationalist, and this is rational. It's more like, I'm trying to go through I'm trying to ration out through it. I'm trying to use a process to understand what's going on. None of it makes any sense, right? So if you want to spend this much time and thought in this, why not do something more productive? I mean, you do have people who criticize that side of society. It's a little harder in that position, but yeah, it's like none of this is rational. Crime is not always rational. Some are, but what you're trying to do is figure out what those processes are. Those people are going through, and they go through it to some degree, and what factors matter.
It's hard to believe that there aren't people that think that that is rational.
Yeah.
That's the guilt. That's the.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you change that thinking? I mean, can you change that thinking? I don't know. That's because if you get caught in corrections, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Trying to change why they think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But
That's yeah, you know, that's that, well, you start getting into the real limits of what we can do in terms of good, and it's like, okay, the biggest problem that we'll have anywhere is whether it's willpower or fun. It's like there are things that
it's
like people can only do for themselves, right? That's off topic. I will look at it for just a second. It's sort of like I can't have fun for someone else kind of thing. Like, you know, it'd be like looking at this. It's like you're trying to say to me that you need this help, you're gonna turn it. Yeah, but
they look at the thrills, go jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
Drop somebody's house.
yeah.
That's another story. But
Yeah.
that's a part. I don't know. I think it's a lot of it's biological and genetics. I really do. That doesn't mean that people are
Okay.
predisposed to be this way, but their thinking is that way, you know.
Yeah, there's something about our institutions, and I don't mean like institution, I mean about American society that sends people in this
Because
direction.
I think that way, but
Mhm.
it's usually because I'm under real stress.
Yeah.
Like, well, get by, you don't want to get violent or you want to get angry.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a spur of the moment thing.
Mhm. And that's,
These people think this stuff out.
yes, they do. And so, well, we got three things going on here. So first off, in terms of classes like theory, all of these theories will run all at once within every single person. That's probably the most difficult thing, because there is no one, here is one explanation for everything. It's how are we best going to analyze this subject kind of thing. Because what you'll see is like, okay. Yeah, they're figuring all this stuff out. They're also learning this stuff at the same time from their cohort of people that they're working with, right? So you have differential associates, that's learning theory. Or you have you know, some of the neighborhood stuff. It's kind of what we're talking about.
So most of that's a learned behavior, or that what you're trying to?
Well, all the theories are going to be running all at once. What this is these are how these theories work for explanations for crime. And if we're going to analyze them to see which ones are functional for the areas that we're looking at, this is how we go about it. The role of, like, for example, any number of these things. Here we're dealing with rational choice, and the first thing it's like, okay, is it rational? No. Okay, how much of your rationality is bounded? Right? Then it's, okay, here's kind of the idea of the process for how people are trying to understand, I'm going to commit crimes. So this is the mental process I'll work through, or better, here are the factors that whenever I go in and analyze it, I can see that these factors actually do make a difference whenever we look at crime in the areas, right? Because using this theory, it says, hey, maybe your sight lines, or in this one, it's going to be your response times, or the likelihood that people think that you're actually watching. You increase that, you're going to see this crime go down in this area, and you can see that quite clearly. So it's very, very fun. It's just we get into the individual. Cool. All right. From there, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other theories associated with rational choice theory, some critiques of that, and some of the different directions it goes. And then we'll move into some of those other things. This is where you start getting into, you start mentioning concealable, valuable. We mentioned a few other things that we got, like what you're looking at in terms of targets. Yeah, they went through and did that too. That's the Crave model. It's like, okay, this is kind of the general idea. Burglars go, they burglarize. These are the processes. Here's the things they consider. Okay, when we're looking at the targets, here are the things that they consider for the targets. And so you work those things out systematically in different perspectives. Thanks. Cool. All right, we'll pick up with this on Wednesday, and I'll show you some cool stuff.
Get back about the
Yeah, I meant to talk about that. I mean,
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Until next.
Yeah. There's a quiz.
Yeah, I think we put
It's
it.
unlimited attempts, so play with it. It just records whatever your most recent grade is. So have fun with that.
So is the quiz, they're unlimited, but.
Yeah.
it's
The exam we'll do one time, you'll have 90 minutes, but we'll do a prep.
Oh.
We'll talk about that next class. I just,
We'll have, that's a state, probably.
yes, I will. Anything that we've not talked about exclusively already, we will talk about at that point in time. And yeah, you too. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go if you're still online, and I will see you later. Bye.